This is the episode where SpongeBob and Sandy first met. No complaints, right? But when Sponge on the Run released, turns out they met as kids at Camp Coral. Nothing made sense. But now, we have an official answer. Listen, continuity in SpongeBob is nearly non-existent. I understand that. There have been so many backstories and errors over the years that you can't take a lot of it seriously, but here's the thing. Certain situations are a bit different. The first few episodes of the show, for example, helped set up the entirety of SpongeBob. How he got his job at the Krusty Krab is canon. There's no going back on that. In the very early episode Tea at the Treat Home, we first meet Sandy the Squirrel. She would become a staple in the lineup of characters. As one of the beginning stories in the entire series and Steven Hillenburg's early plan, we can safely point to this and say it's the actual way events played out. And then we get to Camp Coral, which broke one of the show's greatest foundations: how SpongeBob and Sandy actually met. Having them introduced at summer camp retcons what we're familiar with in Tea at the Treat Home, and that's what a lot of fans aren't happy with. But here's where things get interesting. In the new prequel episode Kitchen Sponge, there's a massive reveal that we really need to just sit down and think about. Just to give you a bit of background for the episode, this is all about building development between SpongeBob and Plankton. A special formula is written down that would eventually become the Krusty Krab secret formula, and Plankton wants to get his slimy hands all over it. Even all the way back in the camp days, this was how things went down. And like all the other times, the mission to steal the secret formula ends with failure. Wow, who could have guessed that one? Sandy sets up some fire, and then it's goodbye formula. At this point in the episode, the main storyline wrapped up, and it seems like the credits were gonna roll, until something strange happens. Sandy starts getting suspicious. She checks around to make sure nobody's watching her. When the coast is clear, she takes out this mysterious invention and contacts... Wait, what? Present day Sandy talks with young Sandy, and they each reveal the secret plan they have going.
I knew sending you to Camp Coral was the right thing to do. Ha! Mission accomplished, timeline preserved.
So at some point before this series, main Sandy contacted her younger self in the past, then directed her towards Camp Coral to meet SpongeBob, stop Plankton from stealing the secret formula, and save the timeline. On a surface level, this is a creative explanation. I'm actually surprised they wrote it in the show at all, but hey, it's a nice addition. However, this is not as simple as it may seem, and it gives us some questions.
Let me explain.
Let's assume Tea at the Treat Home is 100% canon, which it is. SpongeBob didn't know Sandy. Sandy didn't know SpongeBob. That was like the beginning of everything. Fast forward to present day, and Sandy realizes there's a disturbance in the past. The formula is in danger of being taken by Plankton, so main Sandy contacts herself and tells her to go to Camp Coral to stop that. Young Sandy meets SpongeBob at Camp Coral, but all of this leads back to one question. If young SpongeBob met young Sandy at the camp, why don't either of them recognize each other in Tea at the Treat Home? At the very least, Sandy right here should know who SpongeBob is, because the Sandy from present day told her about him. Okay, if all this is confusing and doesn't make a lot of sense, that's because of one thing. We cannot be dealing with a single timeline here. If the Camp Coral past where SpongeBob met Sandy was the only canon, then SpongeBob would have recognized her as an adult. And so, this massive revelation in Kitchen Sponge is that not only one, but both instances where they meet are 100% canon, just in alternate universes. Universe A, Tea at the Treat Home, they meet for the first time. When Universe A's Sandy calls up her younger self and tells her to go to Camp Coral, it essentially sets up a brand new timeline, which I'll just call Universe B. In Universe A, SpongeBob and Sandy meet here. In Universe B, they meet at Camp Coral. Now, I keep trying to think about how all of this can be just one timeline, but because we're dealing with a paradox, that doesn't seem possible. If you want to take away one message from this video, it's that literally the entire world and continuity of the SpongeBob SquarePants series is centered around Sandy Cheeks. I really need to rest now. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.